Well, those of us who were following this stuff closely knew that eventually the day would come. But now it appears like even people in corporate media are having an awakening, and they're realizing what's on the horizon. So CNBC says a housing apocalypse is coming as coronavirus protections across the country expire. Apocalypse. They use the word apocalypse. Housing apocalypse. So I'll give you a little bit of the article here. They say, even before the coronavirus pandemic, the U.S. was experiencing what housing experts and advocates deemed an eviction crisis. Before the pandemic, there was already a crisis. More than 2 million people face eviction each year, far more than the number of people who faced foreclosure at the height of the 2008 mortgage crisis. So we've never actually gotten past the subprime mortgage crisis and the Great Recession. Regular people have been in a perpetual crisis since then. There wasn't an improvement. There was an improvement in the stock market. There was an improvement for the wealthy. There was improvement in the unemployment rate, but the unemployment rate is misleading as an indicator because you could have people getting low-wage jobs and being underemployed, for example. So there was never really a recovery. But now they're saying even before the pandemic, the number of people who are facing evictions is higher than the foreclosure at the height of the 2008 crisis. That's a stunning fact. Experts expect the eviction crisis to get far worse in the coming months. The COVID-19 economic recession has hit renters especially hard. They make up a disproportionate share of service sector jobs, an industry that has been decimated as a result of the coronavirus shutdowns. In fact, between March 25th and April 10th of this year, nearly half of renters aged 18 to 64 reported they were having trouble paying their rent or utilities, were food insecure, or couldn't afford needed medical care, according to the Urban Institute. Thousands of tenants have been missing rent payments over the past few months. Guys, nearly half of renters either couldn't pay the rent or utilities, were food insecure, or couldn't afford medical care. Half of renters. We're a failed state at this point. We're a failed state. If they don't act, this crisis is going to be, we already might be in a situation that's as bad as the Great Depression. This could surpass it. You got to understand, the actual unemployment rate is over 20%. The actual unemployment rate is over 20%. The market is doing well, but only because we've basically fully socialized the market. The Fed said, we will not let you fail at all. Also, Congress did the bailout package of the corporations, $5 trillion worth. So corporations were told, no matter what, you're going to be okay. The stock market, no matter what, the investors are going to be okay. The wealthy are going to be okay. But at the same time, we don't have UBI. We don't have temporary nationalization of wages. We had a one-time payment of $1,200 that didn't even go to everybody. We got a rent crisis, a mortgage crisis, a healthcare crisis, still a pandemic. What do you think's going to happen? We're playing with fire. This is a ticking time bomb, guys. We're going to have millions and millions and maybe tens of millions of people instantly become homeless the second they get rid of the COVID protections in terms of freezing rent and mortgage payments, or like what? This is unconscionable. I've never seen anything like this before. And remember, look at what Congress is focusing on. I just told you, they bailed out the corporations. I just covered a story earlier. The Republicans are focusing on Venezuela and Iran, trying to do regime change in Venezuela and Iran and stop trade between those two countries. This is what they're focusing on. Trump is literally writing letters complaining about a poll that he calls fake news that has Biden leading. That's what he's focusing on. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are doing kabuki theater and doing a show, and they're kneeling to try to do oh yes, we care so deeply about George Floyd. all as the country burns and the economy is a house of cards. I've never seen a moment like this where the stock market, the elite, and the politicians were this immensely out of touch with your average American. I don't doubt that they don't even know and they don't care about the coming housing apocalypse. And by the way, this has consequences beyond just this. It'll be a snowball effect that will impact a variety of things about the economy. We needed radical change a long time ago, man. I mean, God damn it. We need Medicare for all. We have people losing health insurance during a pandemic. We need universal basic income at this point. People can't pay the bills. And the fact that these are really not in the conversation. But war with Venezuela and Iran is. But $5 trillion to corporations is. $1 trillion a day from the Fed and liquidity of the market is. That says everything about how broken the system is, how corrupt the system is, how stupid the system is. And now even mainstream media is onto it and saying, oh my God, iceberg dead ahead. You're damn right. It's right there.